Good afternoon everybody and welcome back to the Position 1 2016 Overwatch Open Skirmish long name. My name is Bamflux and I will be your one and only host and caster for tonight. Obituary is not here, she is too busy getting drunk. It is a Saturday night after all, so I think we know who picked the right activity. That's right, it's me, because there's nothing like an Overwatch match to round out your weekend. Tonight we have two titans of their group, the Salt Mill versus Wet Willies, and we're going to have the Salt Mill in blue for this first round here. Let's have a look. Heart Sunk on the Reaper, Les Grossman on the Reinhardt, Timekeeper on the Lucio, Silly Hats on Soldier Dad 76, Alceria takes up the Zenyatta, Peaches on the obligatory Mercy pick. And let's have a look at Wet Willies here. Star.meh is on the Pharah, Whelps on a Genji, not one that we've seen a lot in this tournament. Aldrilton is on the Winston there. Ken on the Lucio. Willie on the Roadhog. And Darko's on the Mercy. Let's see how we go. Bit of a skirmish going here in the middle. Nobody making too much ground there yet. Silly Hat's getting a little bit low. Other than that, looking pretty even. Timekeeper on about half health there. Aldrilton gets pushed back out. Might set Wet Willies back for a moment or two, but he's already back in there. But it looks like the Salt Mill is going to take an early cap here. Worth mentioning, both these teams are Position 1 and 2, with Wet Willies having a slight advantage, but also... Sorry, Salt Mill having a slight advantage in the table, but also having an extra game played. So this is really the decider for the #1 spot. If Salt Mill wins here, they may take it. We can see here Salt Mill not having too much trouble holding the point. Les Grossman's ultimate is up, so we'll probably see that stun come off the Reinhardt soon, particularly if Wet Willies start to make a good push. Salt Mill continues to hold strong. Oh, great hook by Willie, but Heartsunk gets out of there with the shift. Nice one. Stardot putting some rockets in there, getting that burst damage. And a bit of a contest going on. There goes Whelps' ult, but no, gets caught up by the Zarya ult there. He's not going to be able to get any damage. Barrage goes down from Star.meh. That's going to take out Alceria, but no one else. And looks like TSM are going to keep this point a little bit longer. 41% for TSM. And Wet Willies have to sit back and regroup a little bit here. It's a good cleanup for TSM. Unlucky for Wet Willies. It looked like a good push there. Whelps popped the ult at a good time and was just really caught out by that Zarya. He's going to feel a little bit hard done by there. They're going for it again. Altron goes right in there, drops his ult. Manages to knock a few around, but nobody off the edge. Oh! There goes Silly Hats off the edge. Let's see how this fight in the middle is going. Darkos drops the res. Not too much going on here yet. Looks like TSM might hold it again. Willie is down, but they've lost Peaches, which is probably a bigger loss. Wet Willies are going to want to capitalize on that that Mercy being away and try and get some real damage in there. But with the Zarya and the Lucio still going, they've got a good defensive power here. Oh, Ken goes down to Les Grossman. Goes for the charge, but Genji was already dead. And here we go. The two warriors going in there, the two tanks. Oh, very deep for Willie. Les Grossman goes down, but brought immediately back up by Peaches. And there you go. Early round win for TSM. They're going to be very happy with that. Salt Mill knew this is going to be one of the harder matches for them, so they'll be wrapped with an early win on a round. Good game by both. Honestly thought Wet Willies would get more out of that. But TSM just managing to hold them. Did very, very well. We're going to keep the Salt Mill in the blue here. And looks like their lineup's not going to change either. Similarly for Wet Willies, player number 3 switching over to a Tracer. But other than that, we've got the same lineup for both teams. This should be an interesting point. Lucio on both sides. So there's going to be a lot of knocking people into that canyon, but also a lot of Lucios riding back out of it. And here we go. Some early skirmish shots. Of course, that's what You want to try and get that early damage in. Looks like Austria and TSM are just going to go straight onto that point here, try and get an early cap. Worked well for them last round, so I don't blame them. Austria gets pushed down. I think Ken got the shot off there. But Grossman's Reinhardt's doing well to hold the point. He goes in to nick a kill. Still contested. Grossman just trying to zone them off the point there so TSM can get an early cap, but even they get pushed back. Heartsunk trying to do that heavy damage, but he's overwhelmed there and taken down. Grossman as well, he's very cut off there, and he is going to drop also and an early cap for Wet Willies. They'll be very happy that they finally are getting some score on the board, and you can see, just like they did in the other games we've watched with them, they push up straight away. They don't waste any time on the point. The real prize is keeping the enemy team off, and you can see Welps here just playing some zoning with his Zarya, charging his weapon off his shield. Willie as well, probably just waiting for a handy hook on that one. But they are slowly pushed back as the numbers work for them. Darkos bringing his team back up with the res. Grossman getting a bit of a shield off. There goes Welps' ultimate, and 3 down for TSM. Great hit by Wet Willies. They lose Darkos in the maneuver, but they'll be happy with that exchange. 4 for 1. It's going to give them quite a long period of advantage here, and there we go. They take another one down, but great res by Peaches to bring Heartsunk back up and keep that offensive move going. They're going for aggression here. They were not going to save that ult for 5 or 6 people. As soon as they start to see some losses, they're going to jump right back in. Timekeeper goes off the edge, but it looks like TSM are going to try and get a sneaky cap behind. They aren't able to get it as Stardotmare comes back and takes out Liz Grossman's Reinhardt to stop that cap. And once again, we see the Tracer here coming up and starting to push, slowing down their approach. 60% for Wet Willies now. They're going to want to make some progress. Grossman and Heartsunk shielding their team. Ulster are playing quite aggressive here. Peaches just keeping their health up on the damage. Oh, great stun by Grossman. They go in and they're going to pick up Ken. Welps manages to get out of there. Darkos as well, but this is going to be a cap for TSM for sure. Great offensive play there. They still haven't taken the point, but they should. Welps just keeping it contested that little bit longer. Darkos is on the hill. Great res by Darkos. Eldritton's back up. Oh, and there goes the stun of their ult. Oh, that could have changed everything, but only able to drop Heartsunk from that, and Peaches reses him back up, so it's 6 on the point. 4 for Wet Willies. This has got to be one of the longest defenses I've seen. They've really managed to drag this out. Wet Willies on 90%, but they have lost the point. Stardotmare just keeps that harassment going. Grossman shielding his team off from it. They're just going to have to wait, Wet Willies. They're going to have to wait until they can regroup, but this is going to be a powerful offense when they get back. We can see Saltmill trying to keep them away from the point, but Austria pays for that tactic. Just took a lot of damage in that doorway. Ultratron's going to go around, try and go for a bit of a flank, which is going to help against that Reinhardt shield. Ultimate goes in. Do they get any kills off that? They drop Timekeeper. There goes the barrage. Grossman and Heartsunk goes down. Silly Hats goes down. Peaches goes down. And Austria is still running back, so that's a cap for Wet Willies. And with the amount of dead time for TSM, unless Austria can get it into overtime, which she can't, I think that's going to be the round for Wet Willies. So that means we are going to have a 3rd round tiebreaker. Once again, TSM, Saltmill stay in the blue, and we have Wet Willies in the red. Been very even so far. If anything, a little bit too even, but great game for us. This 3rd round should be very interesting, not seeing any changes in those lineups. You could actually say the Silly Hats to Soldier 76 is a bit of a change. I don't know that we've seen that pick on TSM's side so far. Look at this early flanking move by Aldrich and Willie. Stardotmare just trying to get around as well, trying to get some unexpected hits off. And you can see how this team just flanks so well, and they've kind of tried to closet in TSM, and it's worked pretty well so far. Grossman getting pulled away. You can see he's switched over to Roadhog now, rather than Reinhardt. And this looks like it might be a cap for TSM to start us off. 6 of them on the point there. Yep, there's the cap. But they're going to have to work to hold it here. Stardock just keeps those Pharaoh rockets going in. That incremental damage can do so much in the long term if you don't take him down. Heartsunk chases for a little bit, but looks like he gets the kill there. Not a bad kill at all. Willies a bit cut off from his team, but he does manage to drop Timekeeper and get that heal off. And now Whelps is here to add a little bit more to their front line. Darko's just keeping the healing going from the back line. Ken goes in from the side there. Heartsunk drops the ult. Death Blossom doesn't pick up anybody though. Very unfortunate. Tactical Visor on Silly Hats, but he just chases Ken there. And it looks like he's managed to not pick anyone off with that. And then we see Silly Hats and Osteria go down. And then straight back up by Peaches. Another well-timed resurrect. That's been a real theme for TSM during this match. Wet Willies are keeping that aggression up, but they're drip feeding a little bit here. They're taking a lot of damage, trying to make a difference. And Heartsunk's getting a little bit more caught on. He's not going to chase Ken this time. And here's the main push, but again, Wet Willies are so split between each other. Whelps and Willy, Darkos and Satamare over here, but Ken and Aldrichin all the way on the other side of the map. Willa goes right in, he's trying to get an easy pick off on Heartsunk, who is a little bit out of position, but Les Grossman comes and brings him back. There's a great gravity surge, but doesn't manage to pick anybody off. In fact, they lose Heartsunk and Les Grossman for the effort there. And Willy and Whelps went down, but immediately Whelps gets back up from Darkos' res. And we see Peach's res on the other side, bringing Heartsunk back into the fray. Startup Med drops the barrage, 3 down for that. A great exchange, and they just dropped that Pharaoh res, so TSM are not going to have an answer for that. And Wet Willies are going to get on the board with 99% for TSM. They start collecting some points. Grossman playing a little bit of harassment here, but he is caught out alone, and the aggression takes him down. Let's see where the rest of his team is. Timekeeper here, playing that harassment piece. They got 4 up, 5 up. They should be ready to go in there and actually start to try and do some damage. They are going to have to do it without Grossman for just a few minutes. But Peaches goes down. That wasn't what they needed there. They need their healer up if they're going to make a push through these doors. Timekeeper goes down as well, so they now have no healing until Peaches can get back up to the point. Thankfully, they haven't made too much progress, so that shouldn't take too long. Grossman gets hooked, but manages to get back there. Silly Hat's just trying to pour in some damage, but he goes down for the effort. Startup Mare is now on fire along with Ken. Well, Willies really, they want to hold this one. It's going to be hard for TSM to get their groove back. They took a hard loss from that barrage. See Heartsunk and Les Grossman go down there. Peaches gets caught by the hook. Not lucky enough to escape it. And TSM are going to have to regroup again. They're going to get 1, maybe 2 good pushes on this point before we call this game a Wet Willies win. And they were so close too. They'll feel very hard done by if they can't get anything out of this one. There they go. They're going in. They're a little bit split, but that's going to work for them. Ulstria, the only one caught by the Zarya ult. That's very lucky for them. And in fact, they pay the price for not catching anybody else. But there goes the resurrect on both sides. We see both Mercies drop the ult. Startup Mare goes the barrage. Manages to drop Heartsunk and Silly Hats. And that's almost all of TSM down. And that should be a Wet Willies win realistically. Timekeeper's probably going to jump in there and try and push it into overtime. He's actually a little early for that, and I think that might cost TSM a little bit. There's the overtime. But he does go down on top of it. Silly Hats is here, and we can see Peaches on the other side, but she's alone. And this, oh, the Death Blossom from Heartsunk could make all the difference. Gets hooked midway through though, only manages to drop Ken. But is it going to be enough? Grossman and Ulstria are in there. Startup Mare dropping that damage. Ah, there goes the resurrect from Darkos. That could secure it for Wet Willies. Grossman goes down. Ulstria the only one on the point now. She's not going to have enough damage in there to take it. Timekeeper's back in. Goes down straight away. That's almost a team down. Peaches drops, and that should be a Wet Willies win. Incredible last few moments there. You can even see Heartsunk just dropping in at the death. What a round, but that is going to be a win for Wet Willies. That is a 2-1 win in Game 1 for them. Startup Mare, this is going to be any number of his barrages. Some really great plays in this game from him. And the Mercies, I mean, Some incredible shots from the Mercies there. You can see in this one, he dropped Timekeeper off with the Repulse and then gets Les Grossman with the Rockets. No barrage. I would be celebrating the barrages in that. Well, phenomenal game 1 out of this set. Wet Willies does take it, but only just. We're going to be right back in a moment with game 2 of this exciting matchup. Stay with me.